The feat of Alexey Maresyev. The story of Alexey Maresyev is not just about a moment of heroism, but an incredible triumph of the human spirit. It's an ordeal that lasted 18 days, a struggle far more terrifying than any aerial battle, the hunt and the fall. On April 4, 1942, Maresyev's plane was shot down over enemy-occupied territory. To avoid capture, he decided to crash-land his aircraft in the forest, aiming for the snow-covered fir trees. The branches softened the impact, but he was thrown from the cockpit upon landing. He woke up alone, deep behind enemy lines, lying in a snowdrift. His feet were crushed, but the thought, "Is this really the end?" tormented him more than the pain. 18 days of crawling towards life. Maresyev decided he had to make his way back to his own lines. The front line to the east was his only guide. He had no food except for a few cans of stew and a canteen. His matches were wet and useless. For the first few days, he walked using a stick for support, but his swollen and frostbitten legs soon gave out, so he began to crawl. Imagine April, a frozen forest, snow still deep. A man crawls, growing weaker by the day, hallucinating from hunger and pain. When his matches ran out, he warmed his freezing hands by tucking them under his clothes. Several times he encountered German patrols and lay motionless in the snow, praying not to be seen. Incredibly, he even fought off a bear attracted by the scent of a wounded man, shooting it with his Nagant revolver. Meeting the angels. On the 18th day, on the verge of losing consciousness, he stumbled upon the village of Plov. He was found by local villagers, an old man and two boys. They weren't afraid and didn't betray him to the Germans, even though helping Red Army soldiers meant execution. They hid him and nursed him for several days. When they realized he needed more help than they could provide, they secretly informed partisans, who airlifted him to a hospital, to live or to fly. In the hospital, both of his legs had to be amputated due to gangrene. For a 23-year-old fighter pilot, this seemed like a death sentence. But one day, a commissar in his ward threw a magazine on his bed with an article about a Russian World War I pilot who flew without legs. Maresyev not only learned to walk on prosthetics, he taught himself to dance with them to prove his fitness to the medical board. He fought to be sent to a flight school, leaving the instructors speechless when they saw his stumps. In 1943, he returned to the front and fought for another 2 years. By the end of the war, he had shot down 11 enemy aircraft, 7 of them after his double amputation.